Well, Secretary of State Antony Blinken warned yesterday that China's government has made a decision to seize Taiwan on a, quote, much faster timeline under Chinese President Xi Jinping. This comes as China's Communist Party is meeting for their twice-a-decade Congress this week, where Xi is expected to be handed an unprecedented third five-year term and become dictator for life. Joining me right now is Fox News senior strategic analyst. He is chairman of the Institute for the Study of War. He is General Jack Keane. General, it's always a pleasure. Thanks so much for being here this morning.
Yeah, great to be here, Maria.
So I know that there was open source reporting already out there that China would invade Taiwan within 18 months. But to hear Antony Blinken say this, that the calendar has been moved up and that the CCP has decided that it is going in, was quite striking. What is your reaction to this?
Well, it's a first public declaration by a senior official that the timeline is moving fast, and he wasn't specific about what that timeline is. I don't think it's imminent myself. I don't think they would do anything before the election in January of 24 in Taiwan. Hopefully, in Beijing's mind, they want to get a more sympathetic government in there than the one that is currently in there on the president's side. But here's the real issue, Maria. I mean, the fact is that the Heritage Foundation, who just produced their annual index of military analysis of the Chinese military and the United States and our allies, indicates, you take the category, ships, airplanes, missiles, defense missiles, you name the category, and the Chinese outgun us, and they have a growing qualitative advantage, not just a quantitative advantage as well. What that means is we don't have the deterrence that we used to have. So we're incentivizing President Xi to act sooner rather than later because he believes ultimately the United States will likely catch up. But the truth is we're not catching up. Why? Because President Trump made a down payment to catching up, but inflation has taken away the advantage of the increase in the Biden defense budget. It's not there. There really isn't a significant plus-up in terms of what we need. We are in a very dangerous situation because if we got into a war with China, I think most of us know what would possibly happen. We can lose. And every war game we play tells us the same thing. And I was just involved in one a few weeks ago. This is a very dangerous situation that we're presenting to the American people because we are incentivizing President Xi to take action.
You know, General, I don't know. I don't know if you've said this. You must have said this 100 times to me. OK, I could go back 2 years, 3 years, 4 years. You have been saying that I mean, certainly two and a half years at least. You've been saying that we have this threat, that we are outgunned. And here we are watching the Pentagon unable to get recruits. We're down in terms of people wanting to go into the military. Here we are looking at our Navy, which you have been raising the red flag on now for at least 2 years because we are outgunned. Why aren't we doing anything about it?
Well, there's no sense of urgency in this administration. They just produced a more than acceptable national security strategy. This is something they put in writing every 4 years. I've read the classified national defense strategy. They have built on what President Trump did. It's pretty good, but it's our execution. The words are there, but the money's not there. There's all sorts of other priorities that this administration has, and defense is not on the top of that list by any means, but yet we have this serious threat facing us. We haven't had a problem like this in decades that's confronting us, and you just mentioned it. The National Party Congress is enshrining President Xi for another 5 years. He's not going away. He may be even staying longer than that. And he said again this week on Sunday, he said that reunification is coming and we will not rule out force if it's necessary.
Yeah.
He's telling us, much like Putin told us.
Don't forget what he said when they celebrated 100 years for the CCP, right? Last year or last summer, they were saying anybody who gets involved in stopping China from acquiring Taiwan will get their heads busted to dust. I mean, he actually said that. Now we've got Ukrainian cities facing another day of Russian airstrikes that killed at least one person today. It comes after at least 4 people were killed in Kyiv yesterday by apparently Iranian-made kamikaze drones. Iran is denying that it is supplying Russia with military equipment. The White House says that they are lying about that. Here's the White House yesterday. Watch.
Iran continues to lie about this. They have not been truthful about this and deny providing weapons to Russia for use in Ukraine. Meanwhile, according to these new reports, Iran is considering selling still more destructive weapons to support an invasion they claim to oppose.
General, we haven't heard a peep out of this administration about what's going on in Iran right now. They can say over and over again that Iran is lying, but we know that they're still pursuing an Iran deal. And you've got women and protesters on the street calling for the death of the supreme leader. We could be at a pivotal moment in Iran. Shouldn't we put the nuclear deal on hold for a moment and maybe say something about the strength of the Iranian people and align with the people there? But we haven't heard anything from this administration in that regard.
Yeah, this is very serious what has taken place. The Russians, because of the sanctions, are having difficulty being able to replenish their diminishing stockpile of precision-guided munitions. So they're in trouble with munitions. The Iranians are bailing them out with drones, hundreds of them, not a few dozen, hundreds. And now they're going to give them short-range ballistic missiles, 300 and 700 kilometers, the same thing the Houthis have used against Saudi Arabia. That is very significant. And why are we still talking to the Iranians? We should shut down the deal based on Iranians' actions here, and we should be doubling down on the sanctions on Iran because of this action that they're taking, and get tough with these guys once and for all, as opposed to appeasing them when they're helping the Russians kill innocent civilians and targeting the major cities in Ukraine. This makes no sense what we are doing.
All of our adversaries are on the march, just as you predicted after the Afghanistan botched withdrawal. You've even got the Saudis threatening us now, General. This is absolutely concerning. Do you agree?
Yeah, very, very much so. And then, listen, the administration has blown the relationship with Saudi Arabia. When you call them an international pariah in the first month of the administration, you reach out to the Saudis, you reach out to the Iranians and try to make a deal with them when the Saudis and all the Arabs and the Israelis are saying no, and then you stop a major arms shipment in the first month of the administration that the Saudis had already paid for, and you're stopping the shipment. That poisoned the relationship right then, and we haven't really recovered from it.
Yeah, apparently. General, it's great to get your insights as always. We so appreciate your time. General Jack Keane joining us.